What's up, fellow real estate investors and future millionaires? Today I want to talk to you about something that I've experimented with over the years, which has made me a lot of money: direct mail marketing. Now, I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way about direct mail and finally found the perfect company for what I'm doing. Ballpoint Marketing has made me over $40,000 net profit since November off just my first batch of mailers. So if you're new to the channel, I'm David Pere. We talk about all things real estate, personal finance, military, and entrepreneurship. Over the last 5 years, I've completely replaced my income, and I want to help you do the same. In return, all I ask is that you do me a solid and click that little like button, maybe subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you get notified when we drop more tips and tricks about achieving financial freedom. Now, let's dig into how you can earn thousands of dollars with Ballpoint Marketing. First things first, what is direct mail marketing? Direct mail marketing is the act of sending letters and postcards to people asking them if they want to sell their home. Direct mail is a powerful way to reach out to thousands of people very quickly. Sure, you might get a slightly better response knocking on doors or calling people directly, but you won't be able to knock on 3,500 doors in a single week. You can, however, send thousands of mailers a month, or weekly if you prefer, and reach people in volume to talk about their properties. Now, don't get me wrong, knocking on doors is probably cheaper depending on the cost of gas in your area, but it is far less efficient, and I'm all for finding the most efficient way to earn a return on my time and money. I have personally tried many different methods of direct mail, from handwritten to postcards to printing them en masse from my home. Hell, I have a friend who used to host pizza parties where he paid his friends with a little money, bought beer and pizza, and had them help him seal envelopes for the entire Saturdays. Now, when it comes to direct mail, I've seen a lot of methods, which is why I decided it was time to make a new video now that I've found a vastly superior method to find deals through direct mail: Ballpoint Marketing. Now, over the years, I've used direct mail marketing all wrong. I would turn on the marketing funnel and send some mailers whenever I was ready to buy a property. And then I would shut the funnel off again instead of consistently marketing for deals. Nonetheless, I still managed to buy a 10-unit and 4 single-family homes with direct mail, so it still worked all right for me. Now, I'm much more consistently sending out $3,000 worth of mailers every couple of months, and I have every intention of scaling that because of the incredible results I'm getting. Let me tell you a little bit about how this started. The first time I ever sent direct mail, I pulled a list of absentee-owned homes for Lanikai, Hawaii. Those of you familiar with Lanikai are probably already laughing about that. Now, look, Lanikai is a loop on the windward side of the island with only one way in and out. If you've ever seen the pictures of people in Hawaii where they're like hiking, they're overlooking 2 mountains called the Mokes, 2 little islands off the top of an old World War II style pillbox, the neighborhood below is Lanikai. Basically, Lanikai is one of the most expensive neighborhoods on the island. There isn't a home in this neighborhood under $1 million, and most are much more than that. Well, I was new to the island, and I didn't know any of this, so I handwrote almost 200 letters on a yellow legal pad over the course of a month, and I sent them off at the end of each day, 4 to 5 letters at a time, right? And as a result of targeting million-dollar homes that I could not afford at all and were in great condition with no distress to motivate the sellers, I landed exactly 0 deals. Now, I did have 2 cool phone calls come through all this. Now, the first was that the former Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld's son, who owned one of the homes in that neighborhood, gave me a call and we talked for a little while. So that was cool. The other was a man who owned 2 $20 million homes side by side on Lanikai Beach. And he called, and paraphrasing, he said, "I figured there's no way a Marine could afford one of these homes, and my neighbor received one of the letters too, so we just wanted to call and know if you're a front man for President Obama looking to buy a home here." Now, at the time, he was still the president, and he was from Hawaii. People knew that. He used to come to Kailua all the time, so this was a logical question. In fact, I actually almost thought about trying to figure out if I could get a hold of the president and offer to play middleman, and then I just realized that wasn't, no. That's right, the only 2 phone calls I received worth noting were from people well off. People wondering what I was up to, right? And this is the wrong way to use direct mail marketing. Not only did I target the wrong people, but I wasted hours and hours handwriting these letters too. Now, here's how it's going now. Fast forward a few years and I've experimented with several different methods of sending direct mail. I've learned how to pull lists to target motivated sellers, and I've even built systems to help answer inbound phone calls and screen potential sellers for me. As I record this in February 2021, I've purchased 3 homes cash with direct mail just this year already. And that's just off the first batch of mailers I sent. Now, I just received another 4,000 plus letters in the mail, and I plan to begin shooting them off this weekend to secure some more deals. I don't say this to brag, but just to point out that I've learned a lot about how not to conduct direct mail marketing, and I learned it the hard way over the years. Now, if I were you, I would prefer to learn about it from my mistakes than having to learn the hard way yourself. So look, here's some examples, some response rates from my last campaign, right? The cost per deals. My last order of direct mail letters cost about $3,700 and landed me 3 deals. Now, that's $1,233 worth of mail for every deal that I landed. Now, keep in mind that I have other systems in place and there were more costs associated with this, but that's just due to those systems. But the mail itself resulted in 1 deal per $1,233 worth of letters. Now, given that I'm making over $10,000 on each of these 3 deals, closer to $17,000 on 2 of them, pretty great return on investment. Actually, we had 75 leads that we made contact with and had a conversation with from the list. And I think that over the next year, we should easily land another 1 to 3 deals just from following up with these leads. So realistically, it's a pretty good response when you consider the number of people who called or texted just to say, take me off your list, or something similar but with a lot more expletives, who I did not count as leads. Also, we had almost 300 return to sender mailers whom we're following up with via text and phone call. So all in all, this was a pretty solid response, and I've never landed this many deals off so few letters before. So what I love about Ballpoint Marketing. Ballpoint Marketing is my go-to direct mail company now, and I'm not going back to anyone else, right? So Ballpoint they use robots, so they physically use robots to write the letters with a ballpoint pen, hence the name Ballpoint Marketing, right? I know it's mind-blowing. Now, these letters look completely handwritten. Here, check it out. Can you see that? Is that gonna focus? Woo! Looks handwritten, right? Which means that they get read much more frequently than any printed envelopes or postcards you can buy. People are much more likely to read letters if they appear to be handwritten or personalized as opposed to just appearing like they were printed and mailed in mass. Now, I can't blame them because I do the same thing when I receive ads in the mail. Unless you can pique my interest, trash. Hashtag trash. Now, here are a few reasons that I like Ballpoint Marketing so much. The first, and you might have just noticed it, they catch your eye, right? Like, look, that's the back side. That's the front side. Yeah, I'm looking in the little camera lens to whatever. They have different patterns to choose from, including some pretty cool comic themed ones, which I haven't actually used yet, but they're pretty sweet. I'm probably going to use them at some point. Now, I've not personally used those ones yet, but the letters I just showed you have both an eye-catching design and contrasting colors that make them stick out like a sore thumb. Like, seriously, you're going to try to tell me that doesn't stand out amongst other mail? Now, you can spot these letters immediately in your pile of mail. Then I guarantee that your potential sellers at least, will notice them. I can't guarantee they'll open them, but they will notice the letter, right? Now, they genuinely appear to be handwritten, as I showed you, right? The whole letter looks like that. So you open it up, it's just a small piece of paper in there. I would show you, but I threw out all my return to senders after I documented them. Now, not only do these letters look like handwritten font, but because they use actual ballpoint style pens, there are even ink splotches sometimes and some marks that make it look as though they were genuinely handwritten. They even come in less than neat handwriting, like mine, which is even more realistic. And I've used font that looked handwritten in the past, like where it was a print, but it looked handwritten. And it was just never very convincing, right? So it was very obvious that it was just printed, right? Not cool. Now, when I got my first batch of mailers and saw just how real they appeared, I was super stoked. Now, you control the flow of outgoing mail is another thing that I like, right? So what happens with Ballpoint is you get a box and then you just dump it off at the post office. So one of the things I never liked about direct mail is that if you ordered 3,000 postcards, you would have 3,000 postcards shipped to the address as soon as they were printed. Now, that led to like 3,000 postcards worth of phone calls over the next week or two, and then it just tapered off. So you'd send these mailers and it'd be like, phone calls, boo, 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 and then dead, right? Now, that's great if you have like a full team operating, but for me, a new real estate investor, it was completely overwhelming volume. And it actually led to be like at points where I just wouldn't answer the phone or I wouldn't even call back. I just, just terrible, right? Too many phone calls to handle. So that meant that I either needed to order 500 to 1,000 postcards every couple of weeks or deal with being overwhelmed trying to play catch up with all these leads ASAP. And inevitably I would miss a few, especially because I didn't have other systems. So with Ballpoint, when they send you this box, which I just showed you, right? This box of mailers, woo, They arrive in boxes, like 300, I think this one's 366, but 350 to 500 mailers, which allows me, so they show up at my house, and it allows me to drop them as 1 to 2 boxes off every Saturday. And then I'll receive a reasonable amount of inbound calls the following week. So I can drop off 350 to 500 to 1,000, whatever. So I love being able to order in bulk. I ordered like 4,000, and then I get to control the flow of leads in order to grow my business smoothly. Now I can also tweak the day that I drop these boxes in the mail in order to predict which days I'll receive the most calls on the following week. So if I drop it on Friday, I might get phone calls Monday, Tuesday. If I drop it on Saturday, I might get phone calls Tuesday, Wednesday. And so you can play with when people are gonna get the mail, which is great. It's super convenient. I love it. Now, systems. You're gonna need some systems on the back end if you wanna be passive even with direct mail. So there's so much that I could say about this, but I'm gonna leave just a short overview on the systems, and then maybe I'll do another video on the back end. I've already done some videos on these. So look, I work full time, still in the Marine Corps, and I'm unable to field all the unscheduled inbound calls. I work in a secure vault with no cell phone. For that reason, I'm currently using Call Porter to receive my inbound calls. They take the call, screen the seller, and then they input the data into my customer relationship management program, which is RE Simply. I've done a video on that before. Before they schedule them for a seller appointment on the Calendly link that I gave them. So they basically take the call, screen them out, put all their info into this thing, this CRM, and then schedule the appointment on times that I have picked. That way, I'm only talking to pre-screened, motivated sellers at the times that I allotted to have phone calls, and I'm calling them. So the bottom line about Ballpoint Marketing is this. It is the best direct mail marketing company I've ever used, and you owe it to yourself to give Ballpoint a shot if you've ever thought about or have sent direct mail. Now, just know that if you want to scale, you're going to eventually need to build some systems that can handle the influx of calls, but there's no reason you can't send 1 box a week and field the calls, provided that you've got your phone near you. Whether you want to build those systems now and have like the inflow center and the RE Simply and all this other stuff, or you just want to, be able to field those calls yourself, totally your call. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about Ballpoint Marketing and why I love them. And I mean, like genuinely, I closed 3 houses that I bought with this last week, and I say 40. If you pre-tax, it's probably like 45 or 50 grand that I'm walking away with from last week. And those are just because the timing's all lined up. It's not like that's every week. But I mean, this has been pretty sweet. So obviously I reinvested another $3,000-4,000 into mailers. So I believe in it. And I hope this helped you out. If you got questions about Ballpoint, hit me up, but definitely check them out. And if you use the comic ones, let me know how they work for you, because I think I'm gonna do it. They look sick. Sweet. Have a great day, everybody. And don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe if you didn't already, because this is gonna make you a shitload of money. So what's a like and a subscribe to help me out. Appreciate you.